So today, Anna, we're going to be reading the story Officer Buckle and Gloria by Peggy Rathman. And so I'm going to read a page and then you're going to read a page. Does that sound all right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I'm going to start on the first page. Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it into his bulletin board. Safety tip number 77. Never stand on a swivel chair.
Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring.
Afterward, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle, but Mrs. Topple didn't hear him. Does it look like she listened?
Mm-hmm.
How do we know this?
Because she's standing on a swivel chair.
In the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, was Officer Buckle exciting?
No.
No? What did everyone do during his speeches?
They snored.
They snored, so they were falling asleep. That's right. Okay.
Then one day, Napville's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went alone.
Children, this is Gloria. Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat.
Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared.
Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting at attention. She was. Was she in this picture?
Mm-mm.
So, what does she look like she's doing?
Mimicking him.
Mimicking him, right. Do you think that woke up those students?
Yeah. Safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped.
Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought it was a safety tip he had discovered that morning.
Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared.
Is Gloria being funny?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think she's being funny?
To make the students listen.
That's right. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of the tips with plenty of expression. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. Why do you think there wasn't a single accident?
Because the kids listened to the dog.
The kids listened to the dog and Officer Buckle.
The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Napville School.
Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawing showed a lot of imagination.
His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, "You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7.
Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips, and please bring along that police dog.
Officer Buckle told the safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened.
After every speech, Officer Buckle took Gloria out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy.
Then one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in the college auditorium.
When he finished safety tip number 99, do not go swimming during electrical storms, the students jumped to their feet and applauded.
That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news.
How do you think he felt watching himself?
Really good.
Really good? Okay, let's see. The next day, the principal of Napville telephoned the police station. Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for our safety speech. Officer Buckle frowned. I'm not going to give any more speeches. Nobody looks at me anyways. Oh, said Mrs. Topple. Well, how about Gloria? Could she come? So how do you think Officer Buckle was feeling?
Bad.
Bad? Why do you think he was feeling bad?
Because nobody was listening to him. They were listening to his dog.
Yes, they were.
Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to the school. Gloria sat on stage looking lonely. Then she fell asleep. So did the audience. After Gloria left, Knapville School had its biggest accident ever.
It started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat, splatter, splush. Everyone slid smack into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of her hammer.
The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the accident. Officer Buckle was shocked. At the bottom of the pile was a note written on a piece of paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, "Gloria, I missed you yesterday. Your friend Claire. P.S. Don't worry, I was wearing my helmet. Safety tip number 7.
Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip yet.
Safety tip number 101. Always stick with your buddy."
The end. So now we're going to retell the story and our map. So what we're going to do is we're going to title the story map with the title of the story we just read. Do you remember what it was called?
Officer Buckle and Gloria.
Officer Buckle and Gloria. So first we're going to talk about the characters. Who were the characters in the story?
Gloria.
Gloria. Was Gloria a person?
A dog.
Was she a dog or a specific dog?
Police dog.
And who was the second main character of the story?
Officer Buckle.
Officer Buckle. How would you describe Officer Buckle?
Short.
Was he kind of boring?
Yeah, bored.
Boring? Why do you think he was boring?
Because he didn't know how to get the kids' attention.
Because they fell asleep during the assembly, right? Okay, so now we're going to talk about the setting. Where does the story take place?
The schools.
The school. Do you remember the name of the town?
Knapville.
Knapville. Okay, now we're going to talk about the events in the story. So, can you tell me what happened at the very beginning?
He was telling the tips.
Officer Buckle told tips. Did people listen to him?
They fell asleep.
Okay. And what else happened at the beginning? Who comes into the story at the beginning?
Gloria.
Gloria. He gets Gloria. Now, what happened in the middle of the story?
Gloria gets the kids' attention and helps him tell tips.
Okay, so did the kids like Gloria?
Mm-hmm.
How do we know that?
They sent them letters and actually paid attention.
And what happens at the end of the story?
They decide to stay together and work as a team.
Do you remember what big thing happened that was a problem?
They weren't listening to Gloria. And
remember when the assembly was videotaped?
yeah,
So how did that make Officer Buckle feel?
bad, because they weren't paying attention to them.
So does he want to present safety tips anymore?
No.
Okay. And then what happened at the school?
The big accident. The lady slipped.
And what made Officer Buckle come back?
More letters that they wanted him to come back with Gloria.
And do you remember the number 101 safety tip?
Always be with your buddy.
Always stick with your buddy. So now we're going to retell the story using our story map. So who are the characters?
Gloria the police dog and boring Officer Buckle.
Boarding Officer Buckle. And where does the story take place?
Nashville at a school.
And can you tell me what happened in the story?
Officer Buckle started to tell tips, and then the kids weren't paying attention to him, and he receives a police dog named Gloria, and Gloria helps Officer Buckle make the kids pay attention, and the kids sent him letters because they enjoyed the presentations and the tips and they were listening to them. And then they got videotaped, and Officer Buckle doesn't want to present anymore because he doesn't think anyone is listening to him. But then a big accident happens at the school, and so the kids send him letters and they want him back. And so he says that the biggest tip is to stay with your buddy.
And does he come back to the school?
Yes.
Good. Now let's look back at our learning target. I can retell a story using a story map. Can you do this?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.